Okay, let's just dive right in. You know that one spot in your yard, right? We all have one. Maybe it's that corner tucked under a big maple tree, or that sad little strip of dirt on the north side of the house. You know, the place where your gardening hopes and dreams just seem to wither. Yeah, you've definitely stood there, hands on your hips, staring at that patch of bare soil, maybe with a little moss for decoration, and you've thought those exact words. You've probably even said them out loud. It just feels like a total lost cause. I thought so. But here's the thing. What if I told you that dark, totally neglected corner could actually become the most beautiful, the most peaceful part of your entire yard? Seriously, stick around because we're going to show you exactly how to make that happen. All right, so first up, the problem spot. Before we can talk about the solution, we really have to understand what we're up against. We're talking about that dark, damp corner where, let's be honest, all our best intentions have just kind of fizzled out. You've been there, right? You threw down some grass seed and it came up all thin and weak, and then poof, it was gone. You bought those gorgeous, colorful flowers from the garden center, and they just sat there. They refused to bloom, stretching out all pathetically, looking for a sun they were never going to find. Trust me, it's a universal experience. Okay, you ready for it? This right here is the big secret. The absolute key to succeeding in the shade is to stop fighting it. You have to start designing with the shade. And I'm telling you, that little shift in your thinking, well, it changes absolutely everything. And this is what it really boils down to. A sun garden, you know, it's like a big, loud rock concert. It's all about those flashy, in-your-face flowers. But a shade garden? Oh, a shade garden is a masterclass in subtlety. It's all about the shape of a leaf, the way a lime green pops next to a deep, moody blue. It's about creating beauty through texture and contrast. It's quieter for sure, but man, is it so much more sophisticated. So how do we actually create this elegant, textured masterpiece? Well, it all comes down to 3 superstar plants that work together in perfect harmony. I like to call them the Holy Trinity of the shade garden. First up, we've got the one, the only, the mighty Hosta. You need to think of this plant as the foundation of your whole design. It's your bold, heavyweight inker, and everything else is going to play off of it. And the versatility here is just incredible. I mean, you can get hostas that are just a few inches tall, or you can get monsters that are 4 feet wide. But here's my advice. Don't just grab any old green one. Look for the blue hostas. Their leaves have this waxy blue-gray coating that seems to practically glow at dusk. It's amazing. Or even better, find a variegated hosta, one with white or creamy yellow edges. Those bright spots act like little tiny spotlights in that dark corner. Just remember, you're not the only one who thinks they're delicious. Okay, so you've got your bold anchor. Now, to make it really pop, you need to contrast it with some softness. And that's where our second plant comes in, the fern. The fern brings that delicate, airy, lacy texture that just makes everything feel so lush and complete. Ferns just bring this ancient woodland vibe, you know? And you have got to see a Japanese painted fern up close. Its fronds are this unbelievable mix of silver, deep burgundy, and green. Now just picture those silvery fronds planted right next to the cool, deep blue of a blue hosta. That contrast, that's the sophisticated beauty we're going for. The one non-negotiable rule with ferns, though, they can't dry out. They need that soil to stay consistently moist. And now for the final member of our perfect trio. We have the Astilbe. So if the Hosta is our bold anchor and the fern is the softness, then the Astilbe, well, the Astilbe is the spark. It's that surprise pop of color that brings the entire scene to life. See? Just because we're in the shade doesn't mean we can't have flowers. Astilbes send up these tall, fuzzy, plume-like flowers that honestly look like colorful fireworks. They give you amazing vertical height, and, this is key, they bloom in the middle of summer, right when other things might be starting to look a little tired. But a quick word of warning, Astilbes are thirsty. If you let them dry out, their beautiful leaves will get all crispy and brown on you almost overnight. Okay, so we've got our 3 key players, the bold hosta, the delicate fern, and the colorful Astilbe. Now it's time for the really fun part, putting it all together. Here's your simple, step-by-step blueprint for creating that backyard oasis. It really is this simple. First, and this is crucial, you've got to fix the soil. Shade is usually caused by big trees, and their roots just suck all the life out of the ground. You have to add a few bags of compost to give your new plants a real fighting chance. Second, we'll talk about the layout. And third, and I really can't stress this enough, mulch is absolutely mandatory. Let's talk about that layout for a second. The single biggest mistake people make is planning everything in rigid, straight lines, like little soldiers. But nature doesn't work like that, right? It's all about flow. So a great designer trick is to always group your plants in odd numbers. 3s, 5s, 7s. It just looks more natural and pleasing to the eye. Then, layer them. Put the big hostas in the back, then the colorful astilbes in front of them, and then tuck all those lovely ferns around the edges to soften the whole thing up. Now, we do need to address the one major enemy of our perfect shade garden. If you walk outside one morning and you see these perfect round holes in your beautiful hosta leaves like someone went after them with a hole punch, well, you've got slugs. And to them, your prized hostas are just an all-you-can-eat buffet. But don't worry, you've got some great options. The classic beer trap, it sounds crazy, but it works surprisingly well. You just bury a little dish of beer so the rim is level with the soil. But if running a tiny pub for slugs in your backyard isn't really your style, just grab some iron phosphate-based slug bait. It's totally safe for pets and birds and other wildlife, but it stops those slugs dead in their slimy little tracks. So, after all is said and done, what's the big payoff? What's your reward for all this? Well, you get something much more than just a pretty corner of your yard. You get a retreat. And this is one of my absolute favorite things about a great shade garden. Just think about the hottest, most brutal day of the summer, when the sun is just beating down and the rest of your yard is basically baking. This lush green sanctuary you've created can be up to 10 degrees cooler. It becomes your own personal, all-natural air conditioner. And that's really what it's all about. By learning to embrace the shade instead of constantly fighting it, you can pull off a total transformation. That one spot that used to drive you crazy, the one that was a source of constant frustration, is now the place you'll go to unwind with a cool drink. You've taken the absolute worst part of your yard and made it, without a doubt, the very best. When you combine the bold foundation of the hosta, the soft, lacy texture of the fern, and that surprising, colorful spark from the astilbe, the possibilities are just endless. So the only question left to ask is, what will your new sanctuary look like?